The only thing worse than listening to someone practice drums are Rob Thomas's solo albums. So the electronic drum kit solves a lot of these problems for us. This is a drum kit that Donner sent me, and it blows my mind that this is under $400. Now, I taught myself how to play drums on an electric kit just because I didn't want to bother anybody. I was, still living at home. I was like 17, and it just was unfeasible to have like a huge acoustic kit in the house, right? So I actually saved up forever, working at Blockbuster Video, for a Roland TD6 kit, I think it was. It was $1,200. So I'm gonna really compare this to the Roland kit that I had and I learned on. And it's just crazy, because I think I bought the floor model for $1,200. This is only $400. Basically, we have 4 mesh heads. Right now, this is just plugged in to my Mackie PA system. We're gonna talk about some of the Midi capability after this. But essentially, it's 4 mesh heads. It has a module or a brain right here that you can change the kits. We're gonna go through a couple of the kits. But basically, the thing that's really impressive is the quality of these mesh heads and the sound, right? There's technically a 5th mesh head with it, which is the kick, okay? It comes with the pedal, the kick pedal, and the hi-hat pedal too, which is really cool. So we've got a snare, 3 toms, kick, hi-hat controller, hi-hat, open, closed, a ride, and a crash. You can also add another one with there's like an extra crash output on the brain, actually. But the first thing I want to talk about is just how responsive that these mesh pads are, right? So now this is just one kind of snare. This one is my favorite snare sound, I guess. Now, to be able to do a roll like that on a mesh head this inexpensive is actually super, super impressive to me, okay? I have a Roland SPD-SX, and you can't do rolls like that on the Roland. See how you can kind of, like, that's a low dynamic, but it's very responsive and very even? And then you kind of make it louder. Okay, so, like, honestly, it's ridiculous how good this is. Now, again, this is just the stock sounds coming through the head. It comes with a pair of headphones, so you can easily just plug the headphones in instead of going to a PA, right? But I just really think this is, like, super responsive. Now, you can have individual control like that. That ride is like a little too loud for me personally. So what you can do is you can actually tell the kit which pad you want to change, and you can change it into a totally different sound, right? You can actually lower the sound of the cymbals if you want less of a cymbal heavy thing. You can make all these different types of toms if you want. You can make them all snares. And also, too, there's secondary functions for each pad, right? There's the center hit, and the rim can actually be something different, too, all right? So, first of all, the number one thing I see this as is just great for practicing stuff. No matter what instrument you play, I think drums really has a very unique way of teaching you the foundations of rhythm that no other instrument can. And as soon as I started playing drums, I became a way better guitar player and a way better piano player, right? So I mean, what you can do is you can just set the metronome on the brain here, right? And then kind of challenge yourself with that. So, there's a good amount of functionality just with the module and the head. Like I said, the responsiveness is super impressive. The mesh heads, I think, are so much better than the rubber stuff for feeling more like an actual snare drum, I think. And again, so the snare and the toms are going to be mesh heads. The cymbals are all going to be just kind of like rubber, right? Again, you can really adjust this stuff to your liking, but it comes with absolutely everything you need. Now, for tracking and stuff, I don't think you're really gonna fool a lot of people taking the direct out and just going like right into like a recording interface or something. Just because it does have that kind of, programmed drum module head sound. What's amazing though is it has MIDI out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the PA off and I'm gonna unmute this. I have this going into Native Instruments battery right now. All right, and you can take any kind of like modern kit. It doesn't have to be even like a drum sample, but essentially, all of this stuff can be routed or programmed to anything. You could route these as piano notes if you have some kind of like plugin or whatever. But I really love the samples in battery. So really what I think is like a cool recording thing is instead of drawing in drums or samples or playing them with your fingers, I can always get a better kind of feel when I play it as a kit, right? So essentially you can just use this as an awesome MIDI controller. In fact, I'm gonna do an example here where I think my favorite thing to do is to mix some kind of electronic sample-based stuff with actual live percussion. So this new song I'm working on with Andrea, I'm just gonna play the main drum part on the kit here, and then I'm gonna add cymbals, then I'm gonna blend it together to still kind of get some of the organic feel of an acoustic kit, but also still retain the feel of playing an actual kit, but making it MIDI.
Together, baby, underwater. It's been a long time since I saw you all alone. Juliana, it's time to come home. Drift away into the deepest, darkest sea. And in the reason ways where you'll find me. The moonlight shines a message through a letter typed in ocean blue. I cursed the tides, but they were true. Your love away from me. Drift away into the darkest sea.
So anyway, I think there's a lot of utility to having an electronic drum kit, whether if you have ambitions to play a real kit someday, whether you just want to be able to practice in silence. Now again, it's not going to be total silence, like you'll still hear like the the sound of a stick hitting a head, you know what I mean? But yeah, it really gets the job done. And like I said, I really like utilizing it with more modern kind of sounding percussion stuff and still retaining, a vibe and a feel that I think is really, really difficult to draw in just using MIDI notes and stuff. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds between acoustic and electronic drums. So again, if you're interested, I'll link it in the description. Under $400, really can't go wrong. It takes a minute to set up because there's like a lot of pieces and stuff, but it comes with zip ties too, so eventually you can kind of like clean up how the wires are and stuff like that. And like I said, everything works. I can maybe update you later on after I've had it for a while, but definitely I'm actually super impressed with the sound quality and the build quality of all this stuff for the price. And like I said, it comes with an actual kick pedal, which I've played the less expensive electronic kits that I've seen like in stores and stuff. They have just kind of like another hi-hat control for the kick pedal, and I really don't like that. You don't get the feel of kind of like bouncing an actual kick pedal off of like a bass drum. So I'm glad that they actually decided to just add like a kick drum pedal and the kick drum, which is funny because you can buy like an acoustic kit and it's not going to come with like a chair and like a pedal and stuff like that. So again, it gives you everything you need. So like I said, check it out, link description. And if you have any questions or comments, hit me in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.